Hi everyone, I am Nidhi and I am 46 years old.
Hi everyone, I am Reshmi and I am 47 years old. And well, trust us, we are speaking the truth. And there is a reason why we are announcing our ages very publicly here. And that reason is why we are having the session today. So, Nidhi, continue from there.
Yeah, so how many of you are actually comfortable talking about your age? Can you say it
Brilliant.
publicly out loud how old are you or how young you are? No? Okay. I see a big no coming from the front row seat.
Wonderful.
How
Please
lovely.
shout
Yeah.
out. Brilliant.
Yay.
Thank you. In fact, that's somebody who's in our book, like many people here. So, we want to do this little exercise. What is the visual that comes to your mind? And please be very honest.
Yeah, don't try to be politically right. Be honest.
So, what is the visual that comes to your mind instantly when, we ask you to describe old? Tell us the visual, the graphic that comes to your mind.
Hospital. Okay. What else?
Crossing the road in Bangalore. Okay, so it's basically, it would be difficult to cross the road for elderly people, okay, because of the traffic and the fact that, okay, they're slower with. Anyone else?
Immobile.
Immobile.
Guide
Okay,
or
guide
advisor.
or advisor.
Lovely
Very
one.
nice. Sorry, sir, couldn't hear you very clearly. Okay, thank you. So, the reason we are asking this is simply because, and this is something Nidhi and I have learned on the job in the 8 years that we have run Silver Talkies, which we'll tell you a little more about soon, which is the genesis of this book, Rethink Aging. We'll show you the book here. This is the book we are talking about. And the reason we are asking this is because over the years, whenever we ask people, whether it's a designer we are working with, a graphic designer, whether it's an event we are doing, and whenever we ask people that, okay, how will we do the logo, how will we do the design, the inevitable, answer or the inevitable thing, even when we talk, is about frailty and weakness. It's almost like we can't see beyond that. And over the years, we have realized that it's something that has been, it's something we have also been guilty of. It's just because of our work that we have evolved in that thought. We both no longer think of age in one way. It's like an unconscious ageist visual that everyone thinks about, that age is bent over a stake, or like someone said, hospital. We also thought the same way. So not pointing out anything here, but like Sir said, advisor. So age is that and so many other things. And Nidhi, do tell them why we came to this conclusion.
Yeah, so coming to where the book came from and what gave us this perspective. This perspective started from home, like many of us who just said age is about immobility. I think that's where our journey also started from, where we looked at our own parents when they retired. And while our assumption actually was that the retirement years would be something which would be more fulfilling, more adventurous, we realized that they were so, kind of accustomed to leading a life that they were leading, following their careers or doing things, running errands and all, that we really did not see a change after my dad retired. So when my dad retired, I thought he would go back to his hobbies. He would do drawing, he would do sketching, which he used to love doing, but he never had the time for. Whereas in Reshmi's case, her father post-retirement became more socially isolated. He stopped going out. He would largely be at home. So it was not the kind of retirement story that we were expecting for our own parents. And that's what brought us to starting Silver Talkies, where we realized that if you were to look at older adults and you were to give them a community, where they felt nurtured, where they felt belonged, they actually turn around. They do so much more, and all the words, all the adjectives, all the scenarios that we just heard about, they actually change, they transform, they transition. And actually, in the crowd today, we have many of our members of the Silver Talkies Club who have been part of this journey. And I would like to invite them, in a little bit to kind of share their stories also, if they can, how their lives have changed over time. But this book is actually based on the whole concept of active aging. And this is a concept which is defined by WHO, which says that to age well and to age successfully, there are 7 dimensions of well-being that one needs to look at. Now, how many of you, when you speak to your aging parents, what's the first question that you ask them when you make a call or when you meet them? What do you ask about? Sorry? Their health.
Health, yes.
Primarily, we end up just talking about their physical health, right? We forget completely about their emotional well-being or their social well-being, right? And this is something which we came to understand as part of our work. And
So it's something that we also are often guilty about. So, okay, let me get back to how we came to understand that physical health is not the only marker of well-being as you grow older. In fact, there are various parameters, like Nidhi just mentioned, the WHO, the markers of active aging. So, this is something we have realized in the course of our work, that your well-being, how you grow, how you age actively depends beyond your physical, health. It could be your mental health, it could be your social connections, which is one of the key factors of overall well-being. In fact, there's a study I want to, it's basic. I'm not quoting the study, but I'm just telling you how, surprising it was to read that study in the course of our work. There was a study which was done where people were asked, what do they think their parents, the older adults in their home, wanted the most? What was the thing that they desired the most as they grew older? So, but naturally, most people answered health, physical health. And when the same question was asked to older adults, you know what their answer was? Can anyone take a guess? Brilliant. So, that actually, and 10% of the people, the children asked this question in the study, said what you just said. They want more people around them. They want social companionship. They want social engagement. The maximum number of older people who were interviewed said this is what they wanted. Only 10% talked about health, which is, of course, important. I mean, the fact that people are able to achieve amazing thing at an older age, of course, depends on physical health is extremely important, but it is not the only one. So these are the discoveries we have made in the course of our work over the last 8 years. And we felt there wasn't enough conversation around it, the conversation around aging in India, which was evolving at a very, very different way. And when I say India, I mean urban India. That is where that is the basis of the book, Aging in Urban India. But that conversation we are not seeing happening anywhere else. The focus was still on, aging was only looked from one angle, whereas there are multiple angles of aging. In fact, I want to read a bit from, a chapter that where, so we have, we've quoted a geriatrician who works with a number of older adults, and here's what he had to say. Because lack of social engagement leads to isolation, leads to, which in turn leads to a number of things. So this is what I'm just, reading in brief. Isolation can lead to severe mental health challenges, including depression. This is Dr. Prem Narasimhan from, he is the head of geriatrics in Jaslok Hospital, Mumbai. And he says that when he meets people at the hospital, he encourages them to speak to him beyond their physical problems, because somehow who you were as a person, you somehow, that part becomes invisible as you grow older. So, unless you're like shouting it from rooftop or someone, your children are encouraging you, somehow that kind of, vanishes. So he encourages them to talk to him about their other issues, their other passions, their interests, what they're doing beyond that. He says that if isolation is ignored for a longer duration, it can even lead to, suicidal thoughts or a life that is not, not optimum, not at the best level of well-being. He advises Dr. Narasimhan and many other experts like him are a supporter of structured social groups, which we run at Silver Talkies. And he actually advises, something like Dignity Foundation is another example. Many of you may know Dignity Foundation. And he actually says that, these provide shared learning opportunities through fun interactions. And what he's saying is, when one attends a class or lecture among multiple participants, one gets an opportunity to meet people with similar interests. It paves the way to have a great acquaintance and a sense of purpose. And, I'm just recounting one small incident that someone shared with us while we were writing this book. And instead of reading, I'll just tell you about it. So this person lives overseas, and every day she would call her mother. And, she would ask the same question, how's your health? How's it, mom? So her mother would go for a get-together of with a neighbor who she was very close to. So she would tell the same things, be careful while crossing the road and things like that. And mother was very, gregarious, very enthusiastic about attending things when this neighbor passed on. And this is what she told us. She realized that her mother had lost weight after the neighbor's death because the mother stopped going for activities and things that she would go with this friend of hers. And she realized that her mother had lost weight, grown quieter, and started feeling and looking duller than before. I only realized this was the problem after several doctor visits. It was surprising how therapeutic that connection with another person and a group had been for my mom. So I want Nidhi to tell you a little bit more about the power of social connection and what it does to our well-being as we grow older.
Actually, so when we started out Silver Talkies in 2014, we wanted to, as we said, we wanted to create an exclusive platform, a community for older adults. So anybody who's 55 plus is welcome to become a member of our community. And we started doing events and workshops for them, right? And we curated, I think we did some 2014, we did some 4 events in the entire year. By 2018, we were doing 4 events in a single month. And that's when our own attendees of these events came up to us and said, we love what you do. We love the events that you curate for us. We love meeting all these new people that we meet. But we would like to know them more. And that's how the idea of Silver Talkies Club came. So we are actually a social networking club for older people. And an assumption that we started out with, we assumed that maybe a yoga class will be enough, a spiritual class, a spiritual discourse, or a bhajan class will be enough. Can you take even a guess what kind of activities they actually love doing? Dancing. What else? Music. Singing. Okay, any others? Sorry? Games.
I take 60 plus also for trekking.
Yes.
Yes. So we actually have conducted from theater workshops to ballroom dancing workshops. We've had fashion shows. I have 2 members standing here right now. Both, it's very mystical that both of them are standing here together. They participated and rocked the fashion show at BIC, which we had a couple of years ago. I have another member sitting here who discovered her passion for poetry. She writes beautiful poetry now, which she didn't even know that she had it in her after she attended a creative writing workshop. So Tapa, Geeta here has been attending bhajan classes. She is a very active member. She loves traveling. She works with kids who have hearing disabilities. So, so it's like, it's like a blank canvas. that they are ready to paint in vibrant colors if you put them with the right group, right? So we have discovered that the social connections and the peer-led mechanism can actually do wonders to their well-being. And I think it's very intuitive to understand that if one is feeling well, then their health is automatically going to get better, right? I don't know if Kanchana is here in the crowd. We usually love
Kanchana
taking
is
her,
there.
yeah, she's here? Yeah, she's right here. Sorry, I can't see you in the light. So when Kanchana turned 60 last year, her message to us was, Nidhi, I am feeling so excited about turning, into getting into my senior years. I have never felt so adventurous and experimental in my life before. And I did not feel as fit at 45 as I do now. And this is because she has been taking very active care of herself now, because it's a very natural tendency with us that, when we are taking care of family, we tend, especially women, we tend to ignore ourselves, right? Self-care is not a concept that we very actively think about. At least that generation didn't. We probably,
Our
already know
generation
about
does.
it and understand it. But I think that evolution that's happening now that we see with our group members, right? They have been taking care of their fitness. We run online classes for them for yoga, for pranayama, for fitness classes. So you give them choices and they're willing to take it. So I think the idea with the book, it's not intentioned for only older adults. It's actually for all of us who have aging parents, who ourselves are aging. As we said, we are 46 and 47 respectively. My daughter makes fun of me. She said, Mama, you will be very soon a candidate to join Silver Talkies Club yourself, right? So it's a book for all of us. If you want to understand how to age well, I think this book is something you must give it a read, because it's not just experts who give you, information about what you should do or what you should not do. It actually is full of a lot of anecdotal, inspiring stories of real life people who have started running marathons in their 60s and 70s, who have been going trekking, as you said, right? So there are a lot of achievements that they are actually accomplishing, age no bar. Right, so this is a book for all of us. And Rash, if you want to add something more.
Yes, absolutely. So, we are not saying this without any, that is the reason the book is full of examples and it's across everything. So even if you are, one of my favorite stories in the book is about this lady in Mumbai who unfortunately is no more, who went up to her physio and she said, all I need to do is to be able to walk till my last day. She didn't say I have to cycle cross country, I have to do, run one huge marathon, trek, whatever. She said, I want to be independent till my last thing, and no matter what I have to do. She had really bad issue of osteoporosis and everything. So she actually diligently focused on herself to actually achieve that. She was walking till the time she died at the age of, I think it was 96 or something. In fact, I want to just highlight that everybody we met in the course of our work and in the course of writing this book, Mala Honati is sitting here. She's the one who treks herself and takes people over 60 to the Himalayas. And when she started this, she didn't start this at a younger age. She was working in a bank, right? I remember the bank. She started it later. She focused on yoga. She's actually in her 60s. She went back to university to do a course in yoga and to fulfill her passion for the outdoors and discover a career, like actually start a career for herself in an entirely different field of, active sports. So the whole thing is, we are no longer living in an age where age, in times where age is a full stop to anything. You have, like Nidhi said, it's a blank canvas. So if you find the avenue, no one that, because as we are growing, as the years are passing, the mindsets are also changing in our country. Earlier, older adults often thought, okay, now is the time to pause, now is the time to take care of my grandchildren, now is the time to whatever money we have made, to leave for our children. It's not like older adults are not thinking all that now. That, they still, that thinking is already always happening. But beyond that, they're thinking beyond that now. They're also thinking of yourselves, themselves. And they are telling themselves that we have these years ahead of us because longevity has definitely increased. So they're telling themselves how they can really redefine those years, how they can use it to make it the best time of their life, like Kanchana actually said. So we've come across stories of, people like Mala has taken up a career in a completely different field at an older age. People, companionship. There are stories of people who are saying, I no longer care what society thinks. I have found a wonderful companion and I will go ahead with her. In fact, there are companionship groups across India which help with this. Of course, these people face a lot of societal prejudice because, there will always be naysayers. But the fact that they're standing up to it and going ahead, and multiple other examples, we don't have so much time. I would love to read you more from the book, but we don't have so much time. So even if you're browsing through it.
Quiz now.
Yes, you can. But it's just amazing, the avenues that are there. So we'll do a small quiz before we wrap up. And we have some, if you get the right answer, we have some small gift for you. So, okay. So the first one is about this, this runner. Almost everybody may have heard of him. He is 110, and he is known for his long distance running. Can you tell us his name and the age at which he started? Yes, Mala, you will know this answer. Yes, correct. Can you tell us? I can't see you because of the lights.
The gentleman with the hat.
Yes. Can you tell us what is the age he started running long distance? At 85. But you were close, so we will give you.
Shobha, can we just give the t-shirt?
Yes. See? So Mala has corrected me. The exact age is 89. So the next one is about an actor who had her first directorial venture, which recently won awards at the age of 59. And this is a very, this is a pretty respected and known character actor. And when we spoke to her for the book, her thing was that why do people ask you to retire at the age of 59? That is when you have honed your craft to the best. Can anyone tell us who this person is?
Sorry? No. She has not directed a movie as yet.
Not Ratna Pathak. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think we got the answer. Say that again.
Yes,
Pava.
correct. Thank you for that answer. Ram Prasad Ki Tervi.